Hey guys, it's Mo. So today I have for you another Cricut related video. Today is going to be about creating an offset. 3 ways to create an offset, 3 different programs we're going to use. And the reason I'm doing that with different programs is because you may find you like one over the other. You may find that you're more fluent in one over the other, or one seems more familiar to you. And what we're going to do is create an offset around a PNG image in order to cut it with our Cricut Explore and have that nice little white border that you see on a lot of your Etsy stickers and whatnot that you purchase. With the Cricut Explorer, you can't really do any complex designing. You can't do any offsets. You can't do a lot of that kind of stuff. So we're going to bring in some supplemental programs. The programs we're going to use today are Pixlr, which is a free online photo editing software. We're going to use Inkscape, which is a downloadable free software as well, much like Adobe Illustrator. And we're going to use Photoshop Elements, which you may be familiar with if you do a lot of digital scrapbooking or a lot of photo editing on the side for your own personal life, or maybe you just have an experience with it. And Photoshop Elements is the light version of Adobe Photoshop, and I really like it. You can use it as a design program, but it's really great for editing pictures and just basic things. So today we're going to be using this little cupcake icon here, or cupcake illustration, from the Amy J. Delightful blog. I found this little cupcake illustration and I contacted her and said, hey, can I use this in a video? And she said, sure, go ahead. So I thought I would share her shop and her blog with you. This is her shop here. I love it on Etsy, and I also love to sign up with Ebates because Ebates is a cashback I guess website where you do your shopping through them. It's totally legit. I use it all the time. I think you get paid quarterly and you get a percentage back on what you shop. It doesn't take anything away from the shop owner. It's not a discount on their end, so you're fully paying them for the services that they're providing. But they have a lot of, or she has a lot of really stinking cute printables, papers, illustrations, coloring pages, whatnot. I love it. It's great. It's one of my favorite shops. So what we want to do is we want to right click and save this image as. I'm going to go to my desktop and I'm going to create a new folder, and I'm going to name it Cupcake Project here. And I'm going to save this birthday cupcake in here. I've already saved it quite a few times because I've tried filming this a few times. And I've tried this technique a few times to make sure it works. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to double click on this. It's going to open it up in my Windows Photo Viewer. This is a PNG image. And what I mean by a PNG image, it has a transparent background, meaning it's sort of like a cutout. This image consists of solely the cupcake. There is no square background around it. If you can see this blue of the Windows Photo Viewer background, it's a transparent image. And I will go into Cricut Explore here. Let's go into Design Space and go to Upload Images. Go to Upload Image and browse, and I'm going to go to my desktop and click on Cupcake Project and upload this. If you can see the checkerboard background when you're working in the Cricut Explorer, when you're uploading an image, if you can see the checkerboard background surrounding the entire image that you're uploading, it has a transparent background. It means the Cricut Explorer is going to read to cut around this flame, cut around this candle here, go back over here through this frosting, then to the liner, around the bottom, up here, around the rest of the frosting, back up on the other side until it meets up at the top of the flame. It's not going to cut out a square. It's going to cut out, like die cut out the cupcake here. What we want to do is create a nice offset so there's a little white border around here, like the white border around a lot of the stickers you buy off of Etsy. So I'm going to cancel this out here and go back to just a canvas. The first program I want to show you is Inkscape. Inkscape, like I said, is free to download. I believe you go to inkscape.org and you download it. It is a wonderful program. I'm going to go over here and go to my desktop. This is just my file viewer here. I'm going to open up Cupcake Project. I'm going to find where I saved the cupcake in this folder, and I'm going to drag it onto the canvas in Inkscape. I'm going to leave everything like it is here. I'm not going to touch anything, and I'm just going to hit OK. So now we have a cupcake image, and you can see you can see that this transparent background is true because you can see the black line behind it. Now, I have various videos on my channel about doing an offset in Inkscape, and what we're going to use is this fill bounded areas fill bucket here. And what we want to do is click on that, make sure this is set to alpha, leave your threshold alone, and we're going to change this grow/shrink by field here. What I'm going to do though is I'm going to hold down my control key and I'm going to use the scroll wheel on my mouse to zoom in. And what you want to do is you want to make sure that your fill bucket is touching the inside somewhere, and you may have to play around and find it, of your cupcake or any other image that you're trying to make an offset around. This is going to take a little bit of playing with. I'm not 100% versed in all of Inkscape, but this is what I found to work. So leave this up here as 40 and just make sure you're hitting, when you click, make sure you have the fill bucket on some part of your image. So then just click and you'll see you'll get this offset here. We're going to worry about these holes in a minute. What you want to do is then click on your pointer, make sure this is selected, and push it all the way to the back. This is going to give you the offset around your image. Now, this image here, the cupcake, is actually nearly 2.5 inches wide. So in order to size this down to be about 1/2 inch, I believe this offset, or maybe like 0.7 inches, this offset is probably going to be best for that. So in order to fix these holes, what I'm going to do is push this section back to the top layer. I'm going to hold down my control key and I'm going to zoom in here. And what I'm going to do is double click, and that's going to bring up all of these points that we want to delete. So you just click in the squares. They're going to turn red, and you just click in them and delete them until this hole is all closed up. And then we can go do this other hole here. Close this up here by clicking on all of these. Now I'm holding on my control key and scrolling back out using the mouse scroll bar. We're going to make sure this is selected. Make sure you have a fill screen over here. I believe you can go under, let's see here, Object, Fill and Stroke, and that's going to bring up this fill and stroke here. Let's see if we can make it a little bit bigger. We want to make the opacity 100%. I accidentally clicked on that. And you want to drag your little arrow guy, or your little, I guess, color finder guy, down to white. Make sure this is still selected. Push it to the back. We can then draw another square right here. I'm going to change that color. I'm going to go back to my pointer selection tool. I'm going to hold down and drag over both the cupcake and the white background. And you can see, if we push this to the top, that it has a nice offset on it. Now, what we want to do is drag this over here again and hit Control G. That's going to group it together. Or you can select it all and right click and select group. That's going to group it together. Next, what you want to do is export a PNG image. You can go File, Export PNG Image. That's going to bring this box up here. You want to make sure Selection is highlighted. Selection is blue. You want to click on Export As. Then we want to go to Desktop, find our cupcake project here, and name it as, let's see here, Cupcake Upload. Now, you may think that you have saved it, but you have not. You want to click on Export. That is actually going to save the image right here. And now we can open this in our file viewer and see that it has this offset around it. Now, depending on the size you want to cut this out, it will depend on the offset. You may have to try this a little bit, but I believe that if I size this down to be not 2.5 inches, that offset is going to be a good offset. I find that the smaller the image, the bigger the offset, in order to make it cut better, and just look all over aesthetically better. So that's one way to do an offset, is to do it in Inkscape using the fill bounded areas tool here and creating this offset here. The next way I want to show you to do it is to go to Pixlr. Pixlr is an online photo editor. It's pixlr.com. What you want to do is launch the web app here. And I don't believe it comes with like an ad-free version, but you want to open image from computer. We want to make sure we're not clicking on the cupcake that has, if you're doing multiple ones and testing multiple ones out, you want to make sure you click on the cupcake that doesn't have this glow or this offset to it, and click on open. Now you can see you have the cupcake. Again, we can see this checkerboard background behind here. That's what we want. What we want to do though is to adjust the canvas size, and we're going to set the anchor as the middle. I'm just going to up this to be something crazy a little bit here, just so we have some room to work with. Hit OK. And that makes the canvas size bigger. It doesn't really change the image size, just the canvas size. And what we want to do is right click on this layer here. This is the background layer, or layer 0. This is our cupcake image. Right click and select layer styles. You want to select outer glow. And what you want to do here is change the color using the color picker to white and hit OK. That's going to change it to white. You want to make sure the opacity is at 100%. You want to make the size bigger. I'm also going to make the hardness a little bit sharper. You can make it all the way like this, so that you can see it better. And then just adjust here until you find a size that you like, and then we'll hit OK. Then we can go File, Save. We want to make sure that we save it as a PNG transparent image. I will save it as, let's see here, Cupcake Upload 2, or actually let's save it as Pixlr, the name that we created in, and select OK. Then we can just make sure it transfers to be a PNG image and click Save. We can go back in our file viewer here and see this. That created this nice little offset here that we have. And again, you can go ahead and play with the proportions. This one's bigger, this one's a little bit smaller. You might, if you leave this open and upload and play around in Cricut Design Space, upload it, see if you like that offset, go back and change it. That's a good way to work with it. The next program that we're going to use is Photoshop Elements. So this program is Pixlr. You can find it online. It's pixlr.com/editor, I guess, but you can just go to pixlr.com and launch the web app. I am actually going to go back into layer styles and make this size just a little bit bigger here. Click OK. I'm going to go File, Save, make sure it's a PNG, OK, and I'm actually going to replace this. So I'll hit Save. Yes, I want to replace it, and it'll be replaced. So that was Pixlr. Now we're going to move into Photoshop Elements. Honestly, I don't know which elements I have. I think it's like 14. So this is sort of new. I think I got it in 2014. So that might be it. Maybe I'm making that up. I'm not 100% sure. This is a newer version though. So what you want to do is go File, Open. We want to go to our desktop, find our cupcake project here. And we want to make sure we're not opening any of the ones that have an offset. We want to open the one without an offset and select Open. Then we want to go to Image, Resize, Canvas Size, and you want to make sure that this anchor is put in the middle. I am just going to up the image size a little bit to something ridiculous again. That seems okay. I'm actually Image, Resize, Canvas Size. I want to make the height a little bit bigger. Okay. Then we're going to do the same sort of thing here. We can go to FX here, FX, FX. And we want to make sure out of all of these we select outer glows. The one I like to use is this one that when you hover over it, it says heavy. If you just apply it, it makes this kind of yellow outline. I like to right click here, click on details. No. Edit layer style. I'm getting confused here. So then we want to make sure that we use the color picker to make it white. The hex code is FFFFFF for white if you want to type that in, and we just hit OK. Then again, you kind of want to make the opacity as high as you can, and then you can play with the size. Make the size maybe something like that and hit OK. Again, we want to go File, save for web. And this way you can get a preview of what it's going to look like. Make sure you change it to PNG 8. You can get a preview of what the offset is going to look like. And then we can hit save. We can go to our cupcake project here. Cupcake project. Cupcake upload. PSE. That's Photoshop Elements. Format, we want to leave that, and we're going to hit save. And then we will have another one here that has an offset around it. So that is how to create an offset in Photoshop Elements. So how does this help you? We just go to Cricut Design Space, Upload Image, select the images to upload, browse. I'm going to go with the Pixlr one, open, and select complex image, continue. We don't have to clean anything up, continue. It's going to save it as a print and cut area or print and cut image, and you can see that's going to be what it cuts out to be. We're going to save that, and now you can see the name is Cupcake Upload Pixlr, so we'll be able to see which one is which. Browse, Cupcake Upload, that's one we did in Inkscape, complex image, upload. You see that one's a little bit bigger. Continue. Save it as a print then cut image. Hit save. And these are all being added to the library here. Upload image, browse. Then we got to upload the Photoshop one. Open. Let's see here. Select complex image. Continue. Continue. Save as a print and cut image. And they're all three added to the library. So you can see there's a little bit of difference between each of those offsets here. So we're going to add them all in to our canvas. So now they're all added to the canvas here, and you can see the offset, how different it is between each of them. I'm going to size these to about, I don't know, 0.7, and 0.7. I'm going to leave the proportions locked. This offset isn't as big, so it's throwing off the, I guess, proportions here. But you can see how, if you can sort of visualize this, the bigger the offset on the smaller the sticker, the better it kind of looks. So then we can hit go. My Cricut is not plugged into this laptop, so it is not going to show up here. But you can see you have a nice offset. Hopefully you can see there's like lines between the stickers here. And you can also turn on and off the bleed. It's affecting it in a minuscule amount. So I'm going to cancel this here, but I hope that you can see that these all have an offset. They're all going to cut around this white part here. So you can decide which program is going to work the best for you, which program you would like to use, etc. Two of them are free and one of them you have to pay for, but this will help you create that nice Etsy sticker look, that nice offset look that you can't really achieve, that you definitely can't achieve in Cricut Design Space. So I hope this video wasn't too complicated. I hope it was a little bit informative. If you like this video, go ahead and give it a big thumbs up. I also want to mention here that I have a new group on Facebook. It's called Cricut Ready Planner Stickers, Printables, Tips, and More. I will leave the link for the group down below. Request to join and I will approve you. It's got a whole bunch of files here that are ready to be cut with your Cricut Explore. I have a whole bunch of basics that I've uploaded here, so I would love for you to check that out and just join me on my group. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments down below. Check the description box for various resources, and I will talk to you all in my next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.